know I'm gonna ruffle some feathers. That's all right. I love it. Lord maybe built me for this. Now, let's get back to the money part. In Luke chapter 21, verses 1 through 4, Luke chapter 21, verses 1 through 4, it says, as Jesus hooked up, he saw the rich pour their gifts into the temple treasury. He also saw a poor widow put in 2 very small copper coins. Truly, I tell you, Jesus said, this poor widow had put in more than all the others. All these people gave their gifts out of their wealth, but she, out of her poverty, put in all she had. She was living on. Folks, Jesus allowed this widow woman to give more than just 10%. This woman gave exactly 100% of what she had. She gave literally everything she had, 100%. Not once. You see Jesus go and say, sister, only give me 10%. He didn't say that. He allowed her to give 100%. Because for the Lord don't put no limit in your giving. And they're going to see why he don't put no limit on your giving shortly. We shortcut the Lord and put the Lord in the box when we always talk about giving 10%. Giving 10%. We put the Lord in the box, and that's not how the Lord operates. There's no limit into your giving. Now, let's get back to this tithing thing. Now, Matthew chapter 23, verse 23, it says, woe to you, self-righteous scribes, hypocrites, for you give a tenth tithe of your mint and dill and cummings, focusing on the minor matters, and have neglected the weightier, more important moral and spiritual provisions of the law, justice and mercy and faithfulness. But these are the primary things you ought to have done without neglecting the others. Now, reading that from the Amplified Bible. As we just see here, even again, the Lord not really specifying saying the tithe was the most important thing. What was more important was justice, mercy, and faithfulness. And yes, Jesus is talking about tithe in this verse because he's still in the old covenant. He didn't die for us yet. He didn't go to the cross for us yet. Amen. So we don't have to be enslaved with tithing. Jesus came to fulfill the prophecies. In Matthew chapter 5, verse 17, it says, think not that I am come to destroy the law or the prophets. You see that colon right there, how it stopped, the focus on something else? When we was at Luke chapter 6, verse 37 and 38, didn't see a colon. Understand the punctuation. It stopped. And it says, I am not come to destroy, but to fulfill. Jesus wanted to let them know he didn't come to destroy, he came to fulfill. When Jesus died for us, the old covenant was fulfilled, meaning that the old covenant was over. Under grace, the new covenant is over, including the command to tithe. The command with tithe is over. So we are no longer commanded to tithe, period. No longer commanded to tithe. We are not cursed if you don't give 10% of your tithes. You are not cursed if you don't give 10% of your tithe. Well, Elder, here go a question. Here's somebody saying it now. Well, Elder, I've been tithing for years and I've been blessed. So what you guys say about that? You blessed because you only listen to what the man or woman of God told you out of obedience. So we know that obedience is better than sacrifice. So you gave out of obedience according to what your man or woman of God had instructed you to do. Now, however, for those leaders who know about this truth, but continue to teach the people incorrectly and force them to tithe, that man or woman of God, y'all in trouble. Especially if you know what this word says and you continue to force something like this. I mean, you just can't say, oh, that was the old covenant, we don't go by that, and then all of a sudden just want to pull the tithe out, but you still got tithe though. No, you can't have it both ways. The old covenant is over. That means everything from the old covenant is over, as we are operating now under the grace and mercy of the Lord because he died for us. So you can't have it both ways. You just can't take one thing out of the old covenant and try to make it relevant for today. But if you want to be technical, about the tithes went to the priests, the Levites. It went to the priests. It went to the Levites. The tithe did not go to no pastor. The tithes went to the priests. It went to the Levitical priests of that time because it was talking about the old covenant. That's where the tithe went to. There's no pastors, no priests. There's no priest in the church. You can use that word to sound deep, but technically in the Old Testament, the tithe went to the priests, the Levites. That's who it went to.